Oh, that was not powder. Hey Snowboard Addiction, Taevis here, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how to backside 900. Back nines are the first trick you're not going to need to learn any new principles for. This is because we're going to be using the spot from the back five and the takeoff of the back seven. It's really crucial that you have your back fives with that constant spot so you can lock your eyes on the knuckle and lead the rotation of your upper body and rotate through, finishing the rotation with your legs, because this is going to be a really crucial motion for moving on to the back nine. And then the next step is you want to make sure you have your back sevens super solid on 10 to 15 foot jumps. This means you're going up and spinning your back seven and finishing the rotation, landing stacked. If you can go and do a back seven on that size of a jump and land stacked in control, you'll know that you have enough power to start working the back nine. Because for a back nine, we don't need to add any more power to rotation than a back seven. This is because we can finish it with counter rotation, just like the back five. So it's important to go get that strong takeoff, good snap, good spot, and let your upper body lead the rotation, giving you the ability to use counter rotation if you need. Let's talk a little bit about what you need to do to get your back seven into a back nine. When you start coming around for a back nine, your access will be slightly different than on a back seven. This is because you're letting your upper body lead the rotation and you're preemptively setting yourself up to match the landing of the jump. So the biggest difference of a back nine to a back seven is the slight access. If you do a back seven on a back nine access, you're going to see the rider coming in tail heavy, because that would go and set them up for the perfect 2-foot landing on the back nine. So that's why it's really important to let your upper body lead the rotation of the back nine, pulling into it, setting you up to go and get into that landing with that 2-foot stomp. Because back nines have a lot of rotational force, so we're going to need to go and control that and slow it down. There's 3 things that can really help you stomp a backside 900. First thing you can do to help you stomp a back nine is make sure you're landing in the sweet spot. Landing the sweet spot will make it so you get less impact hitting the landing, allowing you to dig in your edge and ride away clean. So before trying a 900, make sure you did a couple back sevens where you landed sweet spot, because it's going to really help. An ideal back nine has you setting the spin and continuing that same speed of rotation until you hit the landing. But I'm going to show you 2 ways that you can go and cheat this rotation and make it easier to control. The first way you can make it easier to land a back nine is by using counter rotation for the last 180. Counter rotation does 2 things. First of all, it speeds up the spin. Second, it slows down your overall rotation speed. When you counter rotate, you actually slow down your maximum speed of rotation. This is why if you use counter rotation early in the speed, it's going to cause disconnect and slow down your spin. But if you use it for the last 180, it has the double factor of speeding up your rotation while killing your spinning momentum. So that way, if you use counter rotation, you're going to come in with less momentum, making it easier to hold the blind landing and not slide out to heels. This technique is usually used when you're going a little bit slower than you expected on the jump, because it helps you speed it up and it helps you go and kill your momentum. What really helps if you're not landing that sweet spot of the jump, because it's going to make it easier to control the landing. The next thing you can do to really help your back nines is let go of a grab earlier than normal. You generally want to grab for as long as possible, but when learning a new trick, we want to focus on getting a constant rotation speed. And when you let go of a grab, you're able to do a few things. You can pull your knees in, you're able to tighten your core, and you're able to go and increase your rotation speed, or you can do the opposite and extend, soften up, and that'll slow down your rotation. This is why you can go and control your spin so much more by letting go of a grab a little bit early. We often use the phrase in snowboarding, flexing every muscle in the body. When I do a back nine and I really need to get it around, I let go of a grab and I go and tighten everything up, making sure I'm pulling in with my upper body. Sometimes I even feel like I'm flexing my eyeballs to help get that rotation around. And then I also do the opposite, where I let go of a grab, I go and make myself big, spread out my arms, and slow down my overall rotation speed. This is really useful if you're going and overshooting a jump, because if you snap your spin with enough rotational force that you'll land perfect in sweet spot, if you land deep on the jump, you're going to need to slow down that speed. And the best way to do it is by letting go of that grab and expanding yourself. Backside 900s are one of the first tricks where you'll have enough time in the air to decide you don't have it. For example, you can be going for a backside 900, realize that you're not going to clear the knuckle, and you can stop it at 720. You generally want to commit to every trick you're doing in snowboarding, But if you're coming up short on a back 9, it's okay to pull out and do a 7. This is one of the reasons it's useful to have a flatter axis rotation, because it makes it more flexible for pulling out and adjusting what spin you're doing. So generally, you want to lace it every time, but this is the first trick you'll really be able to decide in the air if you have enough rotation or you need to keep it at 7. So don't force it, don't try to twist it around last second. Instead, go and gauge where you are and control and come into the landing either 7 or commit to the 9. This is why I highly recommend going and getting your backside spins flat, because it makes it so much safer to make adjustments. When you really cork a spin, you're committed to that axis of rotation, because you're only going to come to your feet once you go and finish that complete rotation. But by keeping your rotation flat, you'll be able to do the 7, same axis, do the 9, and then you can even transition it to 10s in the future. So if you're really corky on your back 7s, I recommend taking the time and learning how to do them in a flatter axis, because it's going to make this trick a lot safer and future tricks safer. Back 9s are a really complex trick that you need to make sure that you have your back 7s and back 5s locked in. It's really hard to tell if your tricks are ready to move on to the next point. So if you're thinking about trying this trick and you don't have a coach, I highly recommend checking out Addiction Plus. On Addiction Plus, we have a feature called Video Analysis, where you can submit a clip of your riding and we'll break it down to see what's working and what needs to be tweaked. This is one of the most useful tools because there's a lot going on with these tricks, and it can be a lot to be like, I think I got it, but maybe you're breaking up a waist, maybe you're just not feeling right, maybe you're coming to a landing on your heels. All these things are going to make it really hard to go from 720 to 900. So if you're struggling with your tricks or you just want to help getting to that next level, check out Addiction Plus. It's the most affordable program on the internet, and I really believe it's the best tool we have to improve your riding. Recap. Find a 20 to 30 foot jump. Do your normal backside 7 setup carve. Slow just slightly harder than for a back 7. Spot under your back arm, grabbing around 270. Hold your eyes on the knuckle as you rotate around your spot. Use your judgment to decide if you can continue to hold the grab or you need to let go to make adjustments. Continue to lead the rotation of your upper body. Let your eyes pass the knuckle, tracking uphill, finishing in that blind landing. Dig in your toe edge and hold that blind landing for longer than you think. Then look up and ride away. Hopefully that will help you stomp a backside 900. I'm Taevis from Snowboard Addiction, and our goal is to improve your riding.